You can be both. Strength and vulnerability coexist. Jacinda's mantra speaks to the power of embracing contradiction. Being empathetic and decisive, soft and strong. You can be both. These words carry the weight of a revolution. You can be both soft and strong, vulnerable and brave, emotional and unwavering. This is not a contradiction. This is your superpower. Jacinda Ardern stood on world stage as a leader who didn't hide her compassion or mask her pain. She led with both her heart and her mind, showing us all that the world doesn't need another leader who is untouchable. It needs one who is deeply human. And this is what Amy Purdy would call dancing on the edge of what's possible. This is embracing duality as your destiny. Because every time Jacinda stood at a podium with tears in her eyes after a tragedy, and then turned those tears into policy, into action, into healing, she redefined what power looks like. Power isn't cold steel, it's warm presence. It's saying, I care, and still stepping forward into chaos. It's making decisions that affect millions while still allowing space to grieve. That's what it means to carry the weight and not lose your soul. So here's the lesson, asterisk. Don't let the world force you to choose, asterisk. Don't believe for a second that to be a leader, you must shut off the part of yourself that feels. We need leaders, asterisk. We need humans, asterisk, who know how to cry with someone and stand up with them, not over them. Amy would say, you don't have to wait until you're unbreakable to begin. That's Jacinda's message, too. You can be both. You can feel broken in the quiet of the night and still rise with determination at dawn. You can speak kindly in a room full of noise and still own the room. Being gentle does not mean you are weak. It means your strength is calibrated through grace. That is not just rare, that is revolutionary. You may not be leading a country, but you're leading your life, maybe your family, maybe your classroom, maybe your team, and the same mantra applies. In those moments when your heart is tender but your responsibilities are heavy, say to yourself, I can be both. Say it out loud. Say it like a declaration. Say it like it's a battle cry, because it is. It's a battle against every message that told you to harden, to numb, to disconnect. It's a battle against silence when you need to speak. A battle against retreat when you're called to rise. This is your power. Not in choosing one part of yourself, but in showing up as all of you, whole, honest, open. That's what makes people trust you. That's what makes movements happen. That's how you shift the world, not by becoming someone else, but by becoming asterisk, more asterisk of who you really are. Leadership begins with inner belief. Carrying a nation starts with carrying yourself. Self-trust and values-driven leadership create unshakable clarity. Leadership begins with inner belief, before the cameras, before the votes, before the speeches and the crises and the applause or the backlash. It starts in the mirror. It starts in that silent moment when no one is watching and you ask yourself, asterisk, can I do this? Asterisk, and before the answer comes from the world, it must come from asterisk, you asterisk. That's what Jacinda Ardern understood. That's what kept her upright when the weight was too much and the stakes were too high. It wasn't the title that made her a leader. It was her conviction, the whisper she repeated to herself when things got dark. Asterisk, I was chosen for this moment, and I will meet it. Asterisk, let's get real. World will try to define you. People will size you up based on what they see, not what you carry. They'll challenge your voice, question your vision, and push your limits. But none of that sticks. Asterisk, you know who you are, asterisk. You don't need the world to believe in you before you act. You need to believe in asterisk, you asterisk. That's the fire, that's the engine, that's the compass that doesn't fail when everything else does. Amy Purdy didn't wait for permission to rise after losing her legs. She looked inward, claimed her identity, and then built a new path. Jacinda didn't wait for politics to become more compassionate. She asterisk became asterisk compassion in politics. These are women who anchored themselves first in belief, and from there, built out a life of impact. And that's what you're here to do. 2. You will never be ready in the way the world defines readiness. You'll never feel completely qualified, fully prepared, or immune to doubt. That's not the point. The point is to start anyway, to lead anyway, to asterisk believe anyway, asterisk, because that belief is contagious. People will follow someone who walks with certainty, even if the road is unclear. People respond to asterisk, your belief in yourself, asterisk, more than they ever will to your resume or credentials. That belief is not ego. It's asterisk alignment asterisk. It's your soul agreeing with your calling. And when that clicks into place, there's no force strong enough to shake it loose. You can be scared and still grounded. You can doubt and still move forward. But you must choose to trust your voice over the noise, your intuition over the crowd, your values over your fear. Jacinda Ardern was not perfect, but she was steady, and that steadiness came from self. Trust built over years of choosing integrity over popularity. You get to build that too. One brave decision at a time. You get to stand up when it's easier to sit down. You get to speak truth when silence feels safer. And when you do, you teach others to do the same. That's leadership, not in loud declarations, but in quiet conviction. Not in knowing all the answers, but in knowing who you are before you're asked to lead. Use your pain as fuel, not a barrier. Amy Purdy. Style grit. What tried to break you must be converted into energy. Jacinda leaned into pain to expand her capacity. Use your pain as fuel, not a barrier. That's the lesson Jacinda Ardern lived every day, and that's the mindset Amy Purdy would shout from every rooftop. Your pain is not the end of your story. It's the very ignition that can spark your power. Stop waiting to feel fine. Stop waiting to be unshaken. Moment pain visits your life, whether it's heartbreak, loss, fear, betrayal, or pressure. You are standing at a threshold. Will you shrink, or will you asterisk use it asterisk? Because if you lean in, if you face it, and say, okay, I'm listening, your pain will hand you the tools you need to grow stronger than you've ever been. Jacinda didn't carry the weight of a nation because she was immune to struggle. She carried it asterisk because asterisk she let the struggle change her, deepen her. Every tragedy she responded to, from terror attacks to pandemics, hurt her to the core. But instead of hiding that pain, she let it drive compassion. She let it turn into action, and that's exactly what you can do. Whatever has cracked your heart wide open, that pain is energy. It can bury you or it can build you. The choice is yours. Look, there will be days when your knees hit the floor, when the grief is heavy or the failure loud. But when Amy Purdy lost both her legs, she didn't curl up and disappear. She rewired her entire life. She chose to asterisk become asterisk, someone who could not just survive, but fly. And that choice is available to you. Maybe your pain won't make the news. Maybe it's quiet. Maybe it's private. But it still matters. And if you carry it with awareness, with courage, with purpose, it will sculpt you into a leader, an artist, a healer, a force. There's something unstoppable about someone who has suffered and still shows up. That's what people remember. That's what inspires. Not that you were flawless, but that you asterisk kept going asterisk. That you turned every why me into a watch me. That you made your scars your story. So if you're hurting, if you feel broken, if something inside you is aching right now, good, that means you're alive. That means you're being asked to expand. And you can. You absolutely can, because pain cracks you open. But that's exactly where the light enters. That's where the strength gets in. That's where leadership is born. Don't numb it. Don't run from it. Walk into it. Feel all of it. Then rise with the lessons gripped in your hands like weapons of grace. You're not less because of what hurt you. You're more aware, more resilient, more ready. Version of you who has been through it and still wakes up with purpose. That version is unstoppable. That version is asterisk needed asterisk. Let that version lead. Let that version rise. Let that version asterisk burn. Bright asterisk, grace in the face of criticism. Leading a country isn't about avoiding judgment. It's about learning to lead anyway, even under relentless scrutiny. Grace in the face of criticism is one of the hardest things you'll ever practice, and one of the most powerful. When you lead, when you stand up, when you speak truth, you will be criticized, period. Not maybe, not sometimes, every time, and that's what Jacinda Ardern knew. That's what she walked into with eyes wide open. You cannot carry the weight of anything important, your dream, your vision, your country, without also carrying the weight of people's opinions about it. But here's the truth. Not everyone who criticizes you is your enemy, and not everyone who praises you is your ally. Grace is knowing the difference and staying steady anyway. Amy Purdy would say, don't let outside noise drown your inner voice. And Jacinda lived that. She was attacked for being too soft, then too strong, too emotional, then too detached. Too young, too female, too bold, too something, always something. And still she led. She led anyway. Because grace is not about letting people walk over you. It's about knowing when to rise above and when to speak up with unshakable calm. It's about choosing integrity over impulse. It's about not letting the criticism shape your character. You will be misunderstood. You will be doubted. You may even be ridiculed. But if you know who you are, if your decisions come from values and not ego, you don't have to defend your worth to anyone. Let them talk. Let them throw shade. You keep building. You keep moving. You keep leading not with bitterness, but with brilliance. Grace is fire wrapped in calm. It is steel in your spine and kindness on your tongue. It is restraint when the easy choice is revenge. It is presence when the easy choice is retreat. Every single time Jacinda was challenged, she paused not to shut down, but to respond with clarity. She didn't swing back. She didn't spiral. She stayed rooted, and that, right there, is your job too. Don't waste energy fighting people who aren't trying to understand you. Use that energy to build what you were born to build. Let your results speak louder than your rebuttals. Let your consistency silence the chaos. Let your grace win the long game. This world will push you to react, to clap back, to harden up, but grace says, I see you, but I won't become you. Grace says, I don't need to shrink or shout to hold power. Grace says, watch me rise, not in spite of the criticism, but through it. And you can. You already have that within you. You've walked through enough storms. You've stood in enough fire. Now's the time to lead with a heart that knows its value and a mind that stays clear under pressure. Your calm is not weakness. Your patience is not passivity. It is the fiercest form of self-control, and it will set you apart every time. Create space for humanity in leadership. Jacinda showed that humanity isn't a weakness in politics. It's a magnet for trust and unity. Create space for humanity in leadership. Let people see the human first and the title second. Jacinda Ardern didn't step in leadership trying to be a machine. She didn't strip away her identity to fit some cold mold of what leadership is supposed to look like. No, she stood tall as a woman, as a mother, as a person with emotions, values, compassion, and real-life fears. She made space for all of it and in doing so, gave permission to the rest of us to do the same. If you want to lead in a way that actually matters, start by being real, not perfect, not polished, not untouchable, real. Amy Purdy would say, your authenticity is your authority. Read that again. You don't need to fake strength. You don't need to hide your heart. You don't need to remove emotion to be respected. People connect with humanity, not hierarchy. People want to follow someone they can trust, not someone who pretends they have all the answers. Jacinda's ability to say, I don't know yet, but I'll find out, or this is hard, and I feel it too, built more credibility than any rigid show of dominance ever could. You think showing your humanity makes you weak, it makes you unforgettable, it makes you magnetic, it makes people lean in instead of turn away. When you create space for humanity, you create space for trust, for empathy, for unity. You start to lead with a power that doesn't push, it pulls. It draws people in because they feel safe, they feel seen, they feel like they matter, and in a world full of noise and judgment, that is rare leadership. You don't have to lead from a pedestal. You can lead from the trenches. You can lead from the dinner table, from a hospital bed, from a place of healing, from the middle of your own storm. What matters isn't how shiny your leadership looks, it's how honest it is. Do people feel your presence? Do they hear truth in your voice? Are you showing up as the same person in private as you are in public? That's where power lives. That's where legacy lives. Jacinda didn't just speak policy. She spoke with heart . She held victims. She answered critics with respect. She showed up on TV not with armor, but with warmth. And still, she led with strength that could shake the earth. That's what leadership looks like in this new era. Not ego, but empathy. Not command, but connection. Not fear. Based power, but purpose. Based presence. So let your humanity rise. Let it speak through your leadership. Let it soften the room when tension is high. Let it guide you when the path isn't clear. You don't have to be the loudest voice, the strongest body, or the smartest in the room. You have to be asterisk human enough asterisk to care, and asterisk bold enough asterisk to act. From that place, that is what makes a leader unforgettable. That is what changes the world. The mantra, I am enough, even when I feel I'm not. This inner script became her anchor when the storms hit. She didn't wait to be perfect, she chose to lead through authenticity. The mantra, I am enough even when I feel I'm not. These are not just comforting words, these are survival words, power words. These are the words Jacinda Ardern repeated to herself when the pressure was crushing, when the eyes of a nation were watching, and when the weight of doubt tried to anchor her in fear. And it's a mantra that every one of us needs to hold onto like oxygen, because there will be moments many when you don't feel qualified, when you're afraid someone's going to see through the mask and discover you're scared or unsure or deeply, deeply tired. But hear this. Asterisk feeling like you're not enough does not mean it's true. Asterisk you still are, you always were. You're allowed to lead while learning, grow while grieving, and shine while shaking. That is enough. Jacinda didn't rise because she had no fear. She rose because she refused to let fear define her identity. And when the nights were long and the critics were loud, she didn't rely on public validation to fuel her fire. She turned inward. She spoke to herself like someone she loved. She whispered what the world wouldn't say. You're doing enough. You are enough. That is what kept her going. That is what kept her grounded. That is what allowed her to lead with softness and steel at the same time. Amy Purdy calls this resilience through self-compassion. It's the foundation beneath all real achievement, and make no mistake, it's not about arrogance. It's not about ego. It's about asterisk truth. Asterisk, it's about knowing deep in your bones that your worth is not conditional, not based on how productive you were this week, not based on applause, awards, or the number of people who approve of you. Your worth is already whole, already intact, already enough. So when the voice in your head tells you you're falling short, that you're not prepared, that you're too late or too flawed, don't argue with it. Asterisk replace it. Asterisk say the mantra. Say it like a lifeline. Say it with trembling hands if you have to. Say it when you're walking into a meeting, when you're getting bad news, when you feel like giving up. Asterisk I am enough, even when I feel I'm not. Asterisk that sentence is a rebellion against every voice that ever told you you had to be more, do more, prove more. Because the truth is, your greatest leadership moments will not come when everything is perfect. They'll come when you step forward, asterisk, despite asterisk the imperfection. When you decide that being unsure is not a reason to sit down. When you choose to speak even if your voice shakes. When you trust that who you are as you are has value in this room, in this world, in this mission. You are not here to be flawless. You are here to be asterisk, true asterisk. You are not here to impress. You are here to impact, and you don't have to be more to be worthy. You already are. Say it until you believe it. Say it until you become it. Say it until your life reflects it. You are enough, even when you feel you're not.